Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon Sets video, this time featuring Ledian. Now this video was probably one of the hardest ones I've ever had to make, due to the fact that it is very difficult to make sets for this Pokemon. But I have three for you here today, each of which makes use of one of Ledian's three abilities. So without any further delay, let's kick it off by taking a look at its typing, abilities, and stats. So firstly, Ledian is a bug-flying type Pokemon introduced into Generation 2, and in my opinion has probably one of the coolest looking designs out of any Pokemon ever. But with this typing, unfortunately, Ledian is very weak to Stealth Rock, so that is probably one of the main reasons why people are often discouraged from using it. But as for its abilities, it gets three which are all usable in my opinion, the first of which is Swarm, which is an ability that increases the power of your bug-type moves whenever you're below 33% of your health or less. And this can be very useful for Ledian to allow it to get some more damage due to the fact that it doesn't have really great attacking stats. But for its second ability, it is known as Early Bird, which is an ability that makes it so that whenever you are put to sleep or go to sleep yourself using a move like Rest, the turns of sleep are actually cut in half, which is very useful, especially with the new 5th gen mechanics where the sleep counter resets. So with Ledian, having Early Bird is very useful, potentially as a way of getting reliable recovery through the use of Rest, since you will only be asleep for one turn as opposed to two, and allowing Ledian to switch in on maybe potential Pokemon that you know are going to try to use a move like Sleep Powder or Spore, to allow Ledian to sponge that and then attack way sooner than any other Pokemon would have been able to. But for its last ability, Ledian gets the ability Iron Fist, which is really cool because it's its Dream World ability and it allows Ledian to boost the power of any of its punching moves by 20%. And this includes, for Ledian, I believe, Dizzy Punch, Ice Punch, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, and Comet Punch. So that's really cool. That's 5 moves that Ledian can get a boost from this ability with, and will definitely be useful for Ledian to do a lot more damage. But for its stats, Ledian is very cool in the fact that it has a ridiculous special defense stat, being at base 110. So that is actually the highest of all the stats that Ledian gets, meaning that it could potentially run a very useful specially defensive set. But unfortunately, it only has 55 base HP and 50 physical defense, so it's really not able to take hits from that side either, and its low HP kind of hinders its special defensive walling a little bit. But for its attacking stats, it has 35 base physical attack, which is very unfortunate due to the fact that Ledian actually has a ton of physical moves that it can make use of, so if it actually had a higher physical attack stat, it would be a lot better. But fortunately enough, it does have a higher special attack stat, being at 55. Still not the greatest thing ever, but it allows Ledian to still be useful from the from the special attacking side. And I actually have a set today for both its physical and special attack. And also it has some pretty nice speed, being at base 85, meaning that it is on par with a Pokemon like Sawk or Girafarig or something like that. So it's pretty speedy, pretty specially defensive, but unfortunately a lot of its other stats are lacking. But with that, let's take a look at the first set that I have for you today, which is a special attacking set featuring the ability Swarm. So for this first set, we're going to start by giving Ledian a Timid Nature to increase its speed but lower its physical attack, and then as I said right before this, we're going to be using the ability Swarm this time to allow us to boost the power of our bug-type moves. As for the EVs, we're going to put 8 into HP, 248 into special attack, and then 252 into speed, to give us our max speed possible and the highest special attack we can get with a Timid Nature. Now the reason for the 8 HP EVs is so that we can make our HP divisible by 4, because we are going to be using a substitute set that's making use of a Pataya Berry. And Pataya Berry was actually recently announced that it is in Black and White too, so it is completely legal now to use, and something that would really help Ledian out on a set like this. And also, new feature, because I haven't done this yet, I don't often put the IVs for the hidden power, but I felt like it was necessary for this set due to the fact that the hidden power flying IVs that we're going to be using are a little bit weird. So if you can check them out up there, it's basically in order HP, 30, 30 attack, 30 defense, 30 special attack, 30 special defense, and then 31 speed, so that you do have your highest speed possible. Now with the moveset, as I said before, I already mentioned Substitute. And the reason why Substitute works so well with the Pataya Berry on this set is because if Stealth Rock are up, your Ledian will be taking 50% damage as soon as it switches in, and this is probably better to do after something is KO'd, so you can do this safely. And then you can immediately substitute down so that you're at 25% of your health, which would then activate your Pataya Berry and give you a potential wall to be behind to allow you to attack more freely. But with the Pataya Berry boost, we're going to be making use of 3 moves that are all really good in combination with each other in terms of the coverage you get with the stab options as well as the secondary option you get with Focus Blast. But Bug Buzz, Hidden Power Flying, and Focus Blast work really well together, and it will give you a lot of really solid coverage. I'm pretty sure nothing resists Hidden Power Flying and Focus Blast except for Rotom, the original Rotom with the electric ghost typing. So that's really good, even though you don't have to worry about Rotom in NU. But overall, it makes Ledian have some pretty solid special attack with the Pataya Berry. You get, I think, over 300, and with your speed, you're going to be pretty fast, so not a lot of things potentially will be outspeeding you. So that's really great, and then you have some good type coverage with that. As for this next set, we're going to start by giving Ledian a Modest Nature to increase its special attack but lower its physical attack, and then we're going to be going with the ability Early Bird this time, since we're going to be running a more defensive set on Ledian. But for the EVs, we're going to put 248 into HP, 8 into special attack, and then 252 into special defense to give us our highest HP possible with an odd HP number, because this time we're not going to be trying to activate a Pataya Berry or getting in a swarm range, so we need the odd HP number to live 2 Stealth Rock switch-ins, and then also giving us max special defense with some investment into our special attack to allow us to do a little bit more damage with our attacking move. But for the item, as usual with a walling set or a more defensive set, we're going to be going with Leftovers as a way of recovering a little bit of HP every single turn. For the moves though, the first one we're going to be making use of is Bug Buzz as just a solid stab option for Ledian. It's the most powerful move that it can use really from the bug type side with its typing, and it is probably the most reliable move to just go with on a set like this. But with Bug Buzz, we're also going to be making use of Knockoff as a way to cripple our opponents by taking away their item, which is always beneficial, and then also Toxic as a way to potentially stall out damage with them. Knockoff and Toxic actually work especially well together, because if you can knock off an opponent's leftovers, you can then Toxic them and be able to basically hinder their ability to survive with the toxic damage, which is very good. Also, it's great for getting rid of choice scarfers or choice or banders, whatever, any choice item, and it has a variety of options as well. But with all these moves, then we're going to round off the set by giving Ledian Rest. Now, Ledian does learn Roost, so that could be another potential option for recovery, but because we're using Early Bird, having Rest is really good because we're only asleep for 1 turn. We can get rid of any status we potentially had on the Ledian, and we also recover all of our HP as opposed to only 50%. Now, while Roost could be more useful because you get rid of your flying typing for a turn, I think Rest is just a better option, and using it with Early Bird just makes it even that much more cooler. And I always love using Early Bird with Rest. I had that Giraffe Rig set with Early Bird that sets up with Calm Mind and uses Rest and things like that. So I'm a big fan of using that, and it's also really great if you want to bring Ledian in to sponge any potential sleep moves, like from a, what are really common, Jumpluff or Spore from Amoonguss, as long as Amoonguss is in NU, but I don't know if it will be for much longer. So overall, this set is just basically meant to stall out your opponents, only from the special side. You can't really do much from your physically defensive side, unfortunately. So there are plenty of special attackers that this set can handle very well, and it's always nice to be able to toxic stall and have recovery on a set like this as well. Lastly, we have a physically attacking set for Ledian, and this is probably my favorite of all the sets that I have for you today, just because it's so cool in how it works. But we're going to start by giving Ledian a Jolly Nature to increase its speed but lower its special attack, and then we're going to be going with Ledian's Dream World ability this time, which is Iron Fist, to boost the power of all the punching moves that we're going to be potentially using with the set. But as for the EVs, we're going to start by putting 252 into our physical attack, to give us our highest physical attack possible with the Jolly Nature, 4 for defense, and then 252 EVs into speed to give us our max speed. And for the item, we're going to be going with a flight gem to allow us to increase the power of our flying type moves the first time we use it, and also get rid of the item to allow us to use acrobatics more effectively. But for the first move that we're going to be going with on this set, we're going to be making use of Swords Dance as a way to double or give +2 to Ledian's special attack every time you use it. Now this move is 100% essential to use for a set like this due to the fact that Ledian, with the attack investment, still really doesn't have a lot of attack. So once we get a Swords Dance up, we're at a pretty respectable physical attack. I think it's around 300. So you really need to be using that, because otherwise you won't be really doing much damage with the set. But after we Swords Dance, the first move that we're going to be using for our attacking purposes, as I said before, will be Acrobatics, because not only will it be boosted by the Flight Gem and also double in power on the same turn that we use it for the first time, but it will be raised up to over 100 base power, and a stab flying move with over 100 base power from Ledian will be doing a ton of damage, which is really awesome, especially after a Swords Dance. But with that, we're also going to be making use of Ledian's first punching move for this set, which will be Drain Punch. And this is great because with the incredible Stealth Rock weakness that Ledian has, Drain Punch is pretty much essential for allowing us to recover HP, and it will also be boosted by Iron Fist, as I said, so it will be doing a lot more damage. It's base 75, and with Iron Fist it will actually be base 90, so that's really cool and will definitely be a solid attacking option. And it also works incredibly well with Acrobatics because the fighting flying coverage that you get is really good and very hard to find something that will resist it. But as for our last move, it's really a toss-up between the 3 here that I've listed. The thing about Bug Bite is that it's only base 60 power, and even with Stab, it's actually doing the same amount of damage as an Iron Fisted boosted Ice Punch or Thunder Punch. So it's really up to you which coverage move you want. I personally would think that Bug Bite would still be the best option just because it gives you coverage over like Dark types and Psychic types, as well as maybe some Grass types that Acrobatics wouldn't be super effective against, but actually that wouldn't make any sense because anything that Acrobatics would be super effective against, so would Bug Bite. So ignore what I just said, but Ice Punch could be there for coverage against, ground types and flying types, as well as some other grass types. And then Thunder Punch, obviously, for similar reasons, except for, water types and flying types. So it's really up to you whichever one you want to go with. And they're all viable options because of the Iron Fist ability. But just make sure that when you use this set that you do get up a Swords Dance, because otherwise Ledian will be hindered significantly in the amount of damage that it can do. But that's it for this video, everyone, so I hope you enjoyed this Ledian exhibition, and I know I had a tough time making these sets, so I think they're pretty cool though, because this Pokemon is often very overlooked due to the fact that I believe that it has the lowest base stats of any fully evolved Pokemon. But anyways, thank you all for watching as always, and take care and goodbye.